Welcome back to the We Needed Roads podcast, and this is the episode where we take two films with the exact same plot and force them into a death match until only one crawls out covered in bloody carnage and in desperate need of a trip to the hospital. This week, two films, one mission: save your sister from a satanic cult. One does it with dark comedy, ridiculous violence, and rich people getting what they deserve, and the other, well, it basically does the same again, but with a bit more directorial flair and groovy music. It's Ready or Not 2, Here I Come versus They Will Kill You. Same premise, very different vibes, but which one actually wins? I'm your host, Neil, and I'm joined by my OG cultist, David.
Hello there, Neil.
You didn't read the script, did you? What's your
I
line?
didn't. Was I meant to say something?
There is a line there, literally next to your name, David, isn't it?
It doesn't matter, does it?
Hail Satan.
Does it
David.
matter?
Hail
Satan. Okay, wait, do you want me to get that?
No.
Hail Satan.
You know, people
I liked
know
the
by now.
hello. I thought that was cool.
There you go, Claire gets it.
And we also have Claire with us from the W Rated podcast. And Claire, as we record, we are just past Razzie season, so I have to ask, have you recovered yet? And then explain to people why that is a big deal for you guys.
I'm part recovered in that I finally got to stop watching terrible movies, but I have also been terrible myself, and we're about 3 weeks out of the Razzie award show, and I'm still editing the episodes because I'm just slow. So I'm still living it every day in my head. Only listeners of my show, apologies for the very messed up schedule. But yeah, every year we watch every single film nominated for the Golden Raspberries and debate whether they should have been nominated at all and what should win. We were pretty hot on it this year with the winner of most of the awards was War of the Worlds, the Amazon Prime Ice Cube film, and it was absolutely fucking awful. And we normally don't, rip apart films on the podcast, but this one we really did.
I've hate watched that film just because everyone was ripping on it. I had to watch it. It became hate watch media. I loved it.
Yeah.
I loved it. It's a film you love to hate.
Well, in this episode, we are going to pit two films against each other. And points will be given for each question, and at the end, we will hopefully have a clear winner. Round one, we have the heroine. Who would you actually back to survive? So in Ready or Not 2, we have Samara Weaving's Grace Macaulay, Ladomus, and in They Will Kill You, we have Zazie Beetz' Asia Reeves, both saddled with their siblings, Faith and Maria. So first point, who had the better arc, Grace or Asia? Claire?
Better arc. I have to go with Grace still. I loved Asia's arc, but we can fully spoil these movies, right? I don't know how
these
we'll do it.
are
yeah.
spoiler specials. Yeah.
Spoil away.
So who has the better arc? So I have to go with Grace. Asia had a very cool arc and They Will Kill You, but she doesn't change that much. She goes in wanting to save her sister. She goes in as a primed killer and she comes out a primed killer who has saved her sister. Whereas Grace, she already had quite a good arc in the first one, and I think a lot of the criticism I've seen about this film is that it's the exact same arc again. But, she starts out a loner. She comes out with the love of her sister. She learns about sacrifice. She also, learns how to fight. In the first one, obviously, she's a fighter, but I feel like in the first one, she's fighting to save herself. Whereas in the second one, especially by the time she gets that shotgun, she's just there to kill people. She's not having it anymore. She gets energy, she gets anger, and then she wants to save her sister. And I definitely feel like we see her go through so much more. Maybe it helps because we knew her from a previous film, but in my mind, a much stronger arc.
I'm of the opinion that neither of them have particularly the strongest arcs ever in movies.
I know, but you have to pick one.
I've gone with Asia just because, and it's going to be a running theme in this episode for myself, is that it was a new situation for her. Everything's new for her, and that she goes in, she kicks butt, and she's out again. And I realise that's not very good arc, and Claire's kind of sold me on Grace, I'm not going to lie.
So have you changed your answer then, David?
No, I'm keeping with Asia. I'm sticking with my principles.
I'd argue that Grace just about takes it for me because she's been through it twice now. That's why. Also, I think I prefer the simpleness of Grace and Catherine Newton's sister storyline. Like, in both films, it's you left me alone when I needed you. But they it's played more for laughs in their one. You never truly believe, oh, yeah, they're not going to help each other out in it. Whereas in They Will Kill You, I'm just going to go, oh, is she going to betray her sister? I'm not sure. I don't know where this is going. So, yeah. And like you said, David, I don't think either of them really had much development from the basic kill, murder, escape, save sister trope. But as Grace has already done it, I think that's what makes me think, yeah.
That last section of your notes is what I wrote, by the way. Just in case you start the next section by saying, I'm sorry, Neil.
Am I going to go full Ron Burgundy, basically?
Yeah.
Fuck you, San Diego. So, second point, who earned their survival?
Oh, am I going first again? Oh. So for me, this time I'm going to have to go for Asia. Like, that girl trained, killed, like, she went through it, and I'm not saying that Grace didn't go through it. I don't want to go through what either of them went through, but I just feel like she had to keep killing them. She killed so many people, so many times, in so many different ways. She also tried to sacrifice herself. I mean, I think at the end there, she literally kills the devil. That the whole sequence was quite disgusting. But yeah, she trained, she prepared, and she went through it. So it's Asia for me.
Okay, well, I'm going to say Grace because she's gone through it twice. Again, similar to the first point. She had a really shit day, survived, just wanted a cigarette, and then she has to go through it all again. And as she quite rightly says at the end of the film, I'm going to go to the hospital now because she's got injuries from 2 back-to-back games, whereas Asia has only had to deal with 1 night of chaos. And, although she did have the added bonus of not being able to actually kill anyone, really, until near the end of the film. Like, she was slicing and dicing, but they were coming back. So, David, I'm going to go Grace.
I'm sorry, Neil, you're taking the piss, mate, by saying that Grace deserved it over Asia, who quite literally kicks ass all throughout the film, and she's against people that can't. Like, who's earned their survival? Yeah, Asia's earned her survival because she's kicking butt against people that can't die to start with throughout pretty much the entire film, and Grace is just sort of screaming her way through every situation until she picks up the shotgun. And there's exploding people, loopholes in the script for her. Asia, for me. She earns that survival.
I mean, there's the interesting point that, I'm still staying with Asia, but Asia chose to go in there, so maybe she doesn't deserve to survive. Grace was put in a situation that she didn't ask for, so really she does deserve to survive because she shouldn't have been there.
So she doesn't deserve to survive because she wants to save her sister.
Well,
that's a mean thing to say,
she
Claire.
put herself in that situation, is all I'm pointing out.
I'm going to throw your point back at you, David, as well. You're saying, like, oh, yeah, Asia was trained up in that. Exactly. She was trained. So she was going to stand a much better chance.
So she's earned her survival. That's the... What? So you're saying Grace hasn't earned her survival. Grace earns her survival by lucking through it and being against incompetent people.
Because it's literally the definition of the word, survival. She wasn't like going out and being really cool until, like you say, until she got the shotgun. She was surviving. Therefore, she earned her survival. So I'm saying Grace.
No, you're taking the piss, Neil. You're taking the piss. Asia kicks butt. And she beats a whole freaking room full of people with a flamey weapon thing. I can't remember what it is now.
It was an axe, David.
It's an axe. There we go. How it's freaking awesome. And you're saying that Grace deserves to survive because she's there.
Dude, your point. I think you're missing the point of the question.
No, you're missing the point of the question there when it was your question.
David's right. David's right here.
Ha!
Moving on. Third point. Who would win in a straight fight? David, I'm going to go to you now.
Yeah, it's pretty obvious it's going to be Asia, isn't it? It's like, I don't even think that'd be close. That surely wouldn't be close. It's not a question, right? It's Asia. I feel like I don't need to explain that to anyone that's seen both the films.
It is a question, but yeah, also you're right. Claire, you're nodding. I am assuming.
Yeah, it's just not debatable. Like, watching that first fight scene in They Will Kill You, Grace would be dead. She'd be dead. Like, they wouldn't even leave the hotel room.
Yeah, I mean, and like I say, Grace has been through a pretty heavy night already, so she's walking into the fight pretty fucked up from the end of the first film. So, and like you said, she's in no way trained. Great. Asia is fully trained. Although she does technically die in the ambulance and they have to bring her back. She kind of buffeted her way out of that one as well, actually, didn't she? But yeah, Asia turns up. She's fresh as a daisy. And she also really seems to know how to take care of herself. Hand to hand, guns, swords. Yeah, head to head. It's not even close, is it? It's Asia. Best death. And the fourth one is...
Hang on. You only know this because you've had to write the notes for this. You wouldn't know this if you'd waited to this exact moment to think of them all.
Counterpoint to that, before I haven't even explained it yet because you butted in. So, what I would say, you said to me as we walked out, you won't remember any of the kills in that film afterwards. Like straight away, what were the kills in that film? They weren't memorable, and I named 4 straight off the bat.
Tell me one kill from Ready or Not.
I can tell you 4. I can tell you 4.
First Ready or Not.
Ready or Not? Shit.
The first Ready or Not, when she...
Whoa, Neil. Specifically
I'm
Neil.
so ready.
Specifically Neil.
The maids with the crossbow maid. That was a good one. I feel there was something in the pit.
Okay, you've said one. That's fine.
Okay.
You've done your job. Yeah.
Can I move on to my point now?
Wait, I want to know what Claire was going to say.
I was going to do the maids with the crossbow. That's the amazing one. But then also the dippy sister or sister-in-law who keeps shotgunning everyone by accident.
Yeah.
Well, David, I could remember 4 straight away, and one was Viraj. I couldn't remember his name, but the washing machine guy, which is like the first really brutal one. That was so funny and gross. Love that. Also, Daddy Danforth, David Cronenberg getting smothered in the bed at the start. That's like one of the first ones. And then Bill, who's Bill? He's a dude from Abigail who was also in this, and exploding Bill at the hospital. I love that because he broke the rules and tried to murder Grace before the game officially begun. But plot hole here, right? And I thought they could have done something really funny because we only see, if I remember rightly, we only see Bill die, right? And they say, the whole family dies. So I thought they were going to cut to like this montage of random family members of his just exploding all over the place.
So the very next scene is the wedding, but it's Ursula and her brother throwing them out the wedding. I thought that was his family's wedding, and I was just waiting for the wedding party to just boo, 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 boo. So I felt a little bit unfulfilled there.
Yeah, I was like, you could have exploded a wedding. That would have been so fun. Obviously, how can you forget Ursula, David? Buffy getting murdered by shithouse Titus Danforth. What a knob. What a bag of dicks. I was like, you can't kill Buffy. So they were the 4. I remember.
Okay, you've proved your point. Okay.
Also, one of the funniest ones is like when she's finally competent is when Grace shotguns Ignacio's daughter, Francesca, quickly. And the opening, the lines there. I listened to the Empire podcast because they had the directors on, and they literally started the podcast by going, hi cunt, bye cunt, which was just hilarious. I was like, the presenter, he was just like, he said to the guys, now don't be offended by this, but I was umming and ahhing whether to do this, and he does it, and they're like, okay, yeah, no one's done that before to us. It was funny. Grace killing Titus by stabbing him in the throat with Schrodinger's fountain pen, and then both of them kicking him into the bloody pit. The remaining family members all diving into the pit, looking for the one ring to rule them all, #evil Frodo. And then, of course, they run out of time because Dawn. Why wouldn't one of them go, do you know what, take it, mate, because it's Dawn. We're all going to die, but, they're stupid. And then, boom, blood fountain. I thought they were memorable, David, is basically my point there. They will kill you. Deaths. Doesn't really have any deaths until right near the end of the film. Because as we quickly learn, if you're in the Virgil Satan cult, you're basically immortal. And you can't be killed in the hotel. Because they mentioned that. And then I was like, wait, can they be killed outside of it? But that was never explored. I was like, what would happen if they tried to leave? Maybe in the sequel. Unfortunately, it's not done very well, so probably no sequel. But it's a shame because it didn't cost a lot of money, so it will easily make back what it needed to do. Yeah, people only dying, they will kill you when Asia bleaches their names off the satanically possessed pig's head, #pig on a stick. So I'm actually going to say, just purely because there are hardly any deaths in it, Ready or Not, it has to be for deaths, because there's just more of them.
Yeah, no, I agree with you, even though I was arguing the entire time. No, I agree. Ready or Not does have the better kills. Like you said, they don't even have any kills until the very end, where the 5 of them, is it the 5 main characters that are after her? Yeah?
Yeah, when she starts getting her names.
2 of them are like exactly the same in my head to me. There's 2 that I can't differentiate. And like
they're
one
chained
hangs.
up.
Yeah, they're 2 that are chained up, yeah. They're both the same character in my head. They had like nothing different about them. But there's the big guy, the main lady, and the other lady.
That is Heather Graham. David. That is Roller Girl herself.
Yeah, I know, yeah.
Show some.
The two guys didn't even make it on the popcorn bucket. That's how inconsequential they are. They didn't even make it. So.
Oh, and Malfoy. I forgot about Malfoy. And Malfoy. So they were the main guys. The big guy, Heather Graham, Malfoy, and the main lady. And then the two other people. So 6 of them total after, like 6 of the main people. And I can remember how maybe 2 of them died. Like after talking about how unmemorable the kills were from Ready or Not, I felt like this one was worse from a memorable kills moment. The memorable stuff happened when they were immortal. So I feel like you're winning this one on a technicality.
Oh, I'll take it. Also, Elijah Wood is my lawyer, so there you go. Claire, best kills.
I would argue that they all count as kills and they will kill you, in that they do die, they just come back, like they regenerate. So I would argue, just on a technicality standpoint, that they do count as kills. But for that reason, I'm going for Ready or Not 2, because I think it's funny. Our next question is going to be the inverse of this, in that where there's so many kills and they will kill you, they lost their memorability, because it was just like fight after fight after fight, which was great, but it lost some of the just some of the memorability. Whereas where they're quite well passed out in Ready or Not 2, and the kills mean so much because of the heads of the family, because of the order of play, I found them much more memorable. Like you say, the washing machine, when the dad gets killed and the Asian lady kills him, so then her and her bloodline blow up. I mean, the blowing up is just amazing anyway. Yeah. But yeah, I just thought the kills were so great in Ready or Not 2. I saw a couple of them coming. I was very sad about Buffy's death, and I think or Ursula's death. I think the smallness of it worked, even though it was a bit like, and I was waiting for her to do some stabbing with the pen. I was like, okay, this pen is definitely going in an eye and a neck. So even though they're a little bit predictable, I thought that was kind of fun, in the same way of like Final Destination. You're looking at what's in the room and guessing which one of the items in the room will be the downfall. So yeah, Ready or Not 2 for me.
Nice. Bringing us on to the next question, and this is best fight scene.
That was our first clean sweep, wasn't it, for Ready or Not?
I think so.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I feel this next one might probably be a clean sweep for a different film. Now, to be fair, this is kind of difficult, because I kind of looked at it. I thought, well, there are 4 amazing fight scenes, and there's 2 in each. So Ready or Not, you have the scene where Titus is beating the ever-loving shit out of Catherine Newton's character, so much that I honestly believed he was going to kill her at this point. Like, they got me.
I just wouldn't consider that a fight scene, because she couldn't fight. That was just an attack. That wouldn't count as a fight to me. Not to be.
And it felt really uncomfortable to watch it, because it went on so long. And like you said, she wasn't fighting back. I actually listened to an interview with the directors, and they said they needed at this point to sort of turn Titus to make him look like a threat, because he wasn't before. And so, but as you're watching it, you're just going, yeah. And what didn't work for me actually was where they intercut it with the other brilliant fight scene, which is a hilarious comedy fight where you've got it's Grace fighting Francesca, and they're both blinded by the pepper spray, and they're just falling through tables, missing each other by a mile, and it's all cut to Bonnie Tyler, Total Eclipse of the Heart. But it doesn't work intercutting the two, because one's really fun and light, and then the other one's really kind of, oh no, this is nasty.
I think you had to do it that way in some way, though, because it was too dark otherwise for what's meant to be a horror comedy. Like,
yeah, if you stayed on it.
Probably for a film about sacrificing people to Satan, that feels like the darkest scene in both 2 films. I think it went on slightly too long. But I feel like maybe that wasn't the best scene to intercut it with, but it did need to be intercut with something, or it would just be too much.
No, the director said it was like such a fine line. They test screened the shit out of that scene as like a little bit too much. No, we've lost the audience. They hate it now. A little bit too far back, and oh no, it doesn't have to say a little. If it doesn't go far enough, so I mean, fine tuning that as an editor, that must have been. I wonder how many versions that guy had to sit there and edit it back. Go, no, like remove one punch, remove a kick to the stomach. That was too much. But yeah, and in They Will Kill You. I mean, the opening hotel attack, where like the cultists think Asia's going to be easy pickings, and then she just slices, dices, and shotguns the fuck out of everyone. And yeah, I just loved it. I thought it was so good. But then also later on, you have the kind of raid style fight scene where she's just mowing down with a flaming axe like a seemingly endless amount of cult goons. There's some amazing shots in that sequence. There's the one in the trailer where, like, you see it from the side-on shot where she's jumping with the axe through the air, and then it cuts to her just cleaving someone down the middle. Yep, that's the one. Love it, love it, love it, love it. And so, yeah, for me, it's They Will Kill You, actually, in this, I think, has the best fight scene because it just went on so long, but it was entertaining. And you were just like, oh, yes, it was shot with such style as well. Like, you were just sitting back going, yes, this is amazing. I want more of this. David, best fight scene.
So I'm going to echo what you said. I think the pepper spray scene in Ready or Not was hilarious. And it might have taken it if it was just that scene and just that fight. But the flaming axe was peak The Bride against like the Crazy 88 in Kill Bill Volume 1. I loved it. It was just pure, entertaining, fun, silly. Good music as well. I didn't know the song, but I'm sure you're going to tell me what the song is later.
Maybe some, maybe it's not on others.
You're the music dude.
Google has failed me on this one, David.
But yeah, no, for me, they will kill you, 100%. It was beautiful.
And Claire.
Yeah, I think in the way that Ready or Not 2 had to have creative deaths, I feel like with They Will Kill You, where they all kept coming back, they had to get so creative with the fight scenes. Because, like, I imagine if you looked back, probably 50% of the movie must be fight scenes. So they really do. It's not just that they're the best, but they don't feel repetitive, which I think was actually the best thing about the film. I'm not a mad action fan, but I was so engaged. They had the level of humour versus actual cool choreography, technicality, but then also I liked how playful they were with it. Like, I felt this film had a touch of Wes Anderson to it in the silliness, the movement. When she moves with the mattress, I enjoyed that they lent into the ridiculousness of it. And it also really reminded me of Peter Jackson's Brain Dead. It felt like the zombie deaths to me, like all the silly beheadings and things like that. And then obviously you guys have both mentioned like the Kill Bill, the Bride of it, especially that final sequence. They just did more, and it was fun as well as being compelling.
They Will Kill You then, a clean sweep. Actually, it's funny you mentioned Wes Anderson horror. Did you ever see the Saturday Night Live sketch where they did a Wes Anderson style horror film?
Oh no, I'll have to watch it.
Edward Norton hosted, and he's pretending to be Owen Wilson in the trailer, and they called it The Midnight Coterie of Sinister Intruders. And it is one of the best Wes Anderson. They got the fonts, they've got the stop motion in it, the music. It's just one of the greatest SNL sketches I've ever seen. Which is funny because Edward Norton wasn't great on the rest of it. But no, he's brilliant in everything else. All right, moving on to the next question. And this is Best Needle Drop. Which film weaponized its music better? Well, I mean, come on. In Ready or Not, you had 80s banger, Total Eclipse of the Heart by Bonnie Tyler during the Red Inception fight scene, which we've just talked about, which was hilarious. And it opens and closes with a cover of the classic, I think it's 60s song, Will You Still Love Me Tomorrow, which the director said they actually wanted to get the original, but they couldn't afford it when they did the first film. And so they just got some friends to record a version of it for this one. And it's nice how they bookends the film. The trailer for They Will Kill You had this amazing keyboard riff in it, that kind of do. It will sound better when you actually hear the song. But yeah, apparently it's a classic 70s song by Giorgio Moroder, who I think was like, I think he did stuff with Daft Punk at some point. He was like a 70s like electro legend. But I heard that song in a trailer. I was like, I can't wait to hear this in the film. But I'm not sure it was ever actually in the film or that version of it. Did anyone else notice that, or was it just me?
I never saw the trailer, so I don't know the song.
Yeah, it's really, really cool, like kind of orchestral, heavy keyboard 70s song. But it works so well in the trailer. I was like, I can't wait to see that used in the film. And I don't think they did. Or if they did, it was not as high in the mix or different. Also, in the final fight scene chaos in They Will Kill You, I could have sworn the music was by the Nova Twins. There was just no information about it. It just listed the score soundtrack. So it could be, could not be. I don't know. But for me, I'm going to go Ready or Not 2, just purely because of Total Eclipse of the Heart.
So the original question, because you start this off as Best Needle Drop, but the original question was which film weaponized music better, and they're different answers to me. Because
Okay.
Needle Drop, you have to give it to Ready or Not 2 for the Total Eclipse of the Heart.
Yeah.
But I think They Will Kill You used music across the whole film so much better. The music felt really integral. It kept the movement. It felt like the fights were choreographed to the music and the scenes were edited to the music. And I don't think the film would be half the film it was without the soundtrack. Whereas Ready or Not 2, while that song is so integral to that one scene, I didn't think music was important to the film in any way near the same. So my answer is depending on what version of the question you want to take.
I'm now questioning my own answer. Do you know what? I'm going to give it. I am. Let's make it 2 points then. That's the easiest way of doing it. So, best Needle Drop is Total Eclipse of the Heart, and then which film weaponized it better is They Will Kill You for me. So that's 2 points. That's a point each.
Same.
Where? Same.
Yeah.
Same answer. David.
So if we're going off 2 points now,
Yeah.
Weaponize the music. It will be They Will Kill You, not for the reasons Claire mentioned, which are very good points, but for the reason that it's not really my cup of tea, that music. So it felt like it was attacking me personally. It felt like it was like hurting my eardrums. So that was overly mean. No, it's not my cup of tea, that music, and I'm big into the Ready or Not music. It was a lot of fun, and it does have the best needle drops. So there we are.
Next, this could be controversial. Best villain. Now, I did like Evil Frodo with his one evil ring to rule them all, and he did get to live another day as well. I can't believe they didn't do more Frodo. They just had him with the ring once. I was like, oh, come on. You could have. I feel like they could have done a little bit more with like making it a bit more. I think I saw a comment online when someone said he should have jumped in the pit backwards and tried to grab it on his finger. Then we have the Danforths, and mainly Sean Hattus's Titus Danforth, because we mentioned earlier that fight scene is just like horrible, and also he kills Buffy. So I mean, he's not a bag of dicks. He is the villain there for me. Versus in They Will Kill You, Pig on a Stick, faceless cult members. Although I did like Heather Graham's character repeatedly getting killed and murdered. That was fun. And Tom Felton as well, obviously getting killed and murdered and coming back. So I'm gonna go Titus for Ready or Not 2. I think he was the best villain because he was uncomfortable. You didn't like him, you really wanted him to die, and he did horribly, which was nice.
I'm also gonna say Ready or Not 2. Patricia Arquette's character felt like the main villain in They Will Kill You, and Frodo felt like the main character from like sort of like that main villain along with Titus for me, and I preferred his character to hers a lot more. They were quite similar in a way, the two of them, but yeah, Frodo for me, he was just like little evil. He had a little evil glint in his eye. He was the rule master. And Patricia Arquette's character just felt quite one note.
And the accent.
Quite one-dimensional.
Apparently she was supposed to be Irish.
I think the ensemble sort of killers as well. So like the different families in Ready or Not were better than the ensemble, the additional 6 or 5, sorry, in that we've already mentioned. I can't even remember 2 of them. They merged together, Neil.
That guy on a hook, yeah.
For both reasons, I'm going to go with Ready or Not.
Same here, echoing a lot of what David said. Like, looking at, rather than just one villain, the, like, smorgasbord of villains. I just feel like in Ready or Not 2, they were better developed characters. They were more defined characters. And, to be honest, like a mildly higher caliber of actor. They just, they felt more realistic. Even the Asian family, the guy who signs it away to his wife, like, that's amazing. That's such a funny version of these characters. I wasn't sure how they beat the family from the first film, but they really did go into that, like, okay, what are other rich people stereotypes? But they didn't feel like stereotypes. They felt very, very true. And then they also, they all felt like at some point they could take Grace and Faith out, that they'd take each other out. They felt like they would stop at nothing. Whereas in They Will Kill You, they didn't really feel like they were trying to kill her. They were just trying to not die. And it just felt a bit different. And it basically, all their character was choppy NPC. Even, Heather Graham's character and Tom Felton's character couldn't tell you anything about them other than that they could regrow. like the most characterization was Heather Graham's eyeball, to be completely honest. That eyeball had a bit of funk and a bit of personality and was brilliantly animated. Whoever did the effects there, well done them. But yeah, it's less about the villainous intent, which is very similar anyway, and more about the great use of characterization. And even saying that the head security guard of Ready or Not 2, who I think maybe had one line, was more villainous than Patricia Arquette in like 2 scenes. So yeah.
And next question, best sister dynamic. We have Faith and Grace, who are the more comedic. They have, for me, better verbal sparring. It never felt they would actually not help each other, despite them trying to make us think they would. Or you've got Asia and Maria, and that's more serious. They've got the whole broken home, abusive background, and what Asia goes through to protect Maria, and how she fails, and because of her failing, Marie ends up immortal at the Virgil. So a little bit to chew on there. I'm going to go for... I enjoyed Faith and Grace more, like it was funny. But in terms of having more to do, having the more backstory and it being a bit more serious, I'm going to give it to Asia and Maria, I think. David?
I swear you're doing it just to rage bait me at this point, Neil. Just picking all the wrong answers to rage bait me. Because
there are not wrong answers.
Or not. They have the much better dynamic, the wittier, the whole falling out argument feels a lot more realistic. I mean, I know well, not for the same reasons, I suppose. But
you went chained to your brother.
Yeah, massive falling outs with their families in similar ways, of just like leaving them there. Like the Asia and Maria, you never really know what happens in their backstory, even though you see it. You don't know what's happening to Maria. You don't know what the dad's actually done. It's kind of left very like up in the air for you to sort of make up the biggest fucked up thing that could have happened to her. And my head's pretty fucked up. So it went to some dark, and Maria went through some dark places in my head. But yeah, for me, Ready or Not, because the sister dynamic is a hell of a lot better.
Fair. And Claire?
Yeah, I'm going with David as well, in that Mayala, who plays Maria, is a great actress, but she's giving very little to do. Maria as a character doesn't really have any personality. We know that she was left with an abusive father, scales of abuse unsure, and that she chose to go to this place and managed to keep her life. But most of the film, she's either unconscious or staring. She doesn't really have much agency. So the dynamic between Asia and Maria is kind of like the dynamic of like Mario and Princess Peach in the original game. Like, just picks her up and runs away. Whereas Faith and Grace like have actual like chemistry, anti-chemistry. They have real fights. They have real emotions. They also like it felt really true. I don't have a sister, so I don't know. But like anyone that I know that has sisters, they hate each other, but they stand up for each other. It also helps that like I adore Samara Weaving and I adore Catherine Newton, and I just would watch them do anything. So watching them spar was so much fun. I just think they have more room in the script and therefore make a much better dynamic. And also Grace is actually fighting, whereas I don't feel like Maria really ever fought.
Ultimately as well, Grace and Faith is the one actual difference between this film and the first film. They're the same film, okay? The dynamic is the only thing that makes this film different. Really.
But I love that. I loved the first one. I'm happy for a second version of it. And I do think that it is a different enough development to me, in that like the whole thing about her in the first film is that she's a loner and she finally opens up to this man, and oh shit, she was right to be a loner and never trust anyone. So then this
because he was Seth from the OC.
Yeah, oh, my baby. And then this film flips that back on its head and gets her back to the place that she was at the start of the first film, which is no, you can let people in, you can trust people in, and sometimes leaning on someone will be the thing that saves you, and doing it for someone else, like we all learn in Project Hail Mary, you just have to have someone to sacrifice for. And so it is the thing that makes it a different film, but I think it's also the thing that elevates it. Because also the start of the film, Asia goes to save Maria, so we know for the whole of the film, even though it tries to make you feel like they won't end up together, you know. Whereas I feel like in Ready or Not 2, I definitely just thought that Faith would die. I definitely didn't think she'd make it out at the end of the movie. I feel like there was more will they, won't they, in that one.
With Grace and Faith, they literally, and when you said how fun they are on screen together, Catherine Newton and Samara Weaving, someone literally jokingly posted, like, wouldn't it be great if they did a third film and it was just a rom-com? Like, no cults are trying to kill them. It's just them as, like, arguing sisters, like, afterwards. And I was like, yeah, and we would watch that. And it would be awesome because you wouldn't be expecting it to not be a horror film suddenly.
Well, the whole film would just be them trying to guess if Grace's new boyfriends were secretly part of a cult.
Oh, that'd be hilarious. I'd watch it. Make it. Radio Silence, you had it here first. I mean, you probably didn't. You've probably thought this already, to be fair. But yeah, go and make it. And this brings us on to the next question, which is, which film had the most style? Is it style or is it substance? I'm going to have to go with They Will Kill You, because just the flair of the directing was there from, like, moment one. And there's some truly insane ideas in this film that are executed by director Kirill Solikov. And yeah, he borrows liberally from Tarantino. But, I mean, the sword play, the flashback chapters with the title cards, and his use of just all different kinds of music. The scene with the eyeball. Who even thinks we're going to have a couple of minutes where the movie is seen from a severed eye's point of view? And then you had the Beetlejuice head as well. I mean, there it is. The star of the film. One of the stars.
How does that eye hear? That's what I want to know. That eye had hearing. Unless it was just lip reading.
I guess at a certain point, they grew. I don't know. Don't.
I try not to think about it.
And that's David's brain for the next 3 hours now. Yeah, so for me, it was just brilliant, unhinged chaos. I loved it. I really like the style of that film. I can't wait to see what this guy does next as well. So, Claire, which was your favourite?
Yeah, like exactly the same. I saw, obviously this director is a huge film fan. I saw so many references, like I said, to the Brain Dead, the Peter Jackson film, to the Kill Bill. You mentioned The Raid. I mentioned Wes Anderson. Like, they can be good and bad things when you're looking at a film, and that it can feel unoriginal. But I feel like the way they tied them all together so seamlessly made it feel a beautiful homage, heavily inspired, but its own original thing. It didn't feel like a rip-off. And it was fun, it was playful. The use of the underground, like, between floors passage systems, and the way they were filmed was so fun. Yeah, it's just a much sillier, wackier movie, and I have to give it that. It really went for it.
Yeah, ditto to everything. I don't really have anything much to add. It felt very anime, They Will Kill You, which I loved.
Rewatchability. Which one of these two would you watch again first?
They Will Kill You, because if I wanted to watch Ready or Not again, I would watch the first one.
They're both brilliant.
It's the same film. Yeah, I know Claire's just said that it's not the same film, but for me,
giving you a really good breakdown of why it isn't.
It is. It was a good breakdown, but it didn't change my opinion on that. It is still exactly the same film.
Which is what the fans wanted.
They even put her in the same bloody dress. They had her in the same location, pretty much. Like, there was nothing actually different about it, aside from the fact that her sister was there.
Time. She was on a golf course.
There was a buggy.
Yeah, it was a grand. Okay, so instead of it being a grand estate, it's a grand estate. There wasn't much. So anyway, in terms of rewatchability, I would, if I wanted to watch again, I'd watch They Will Kill You.
It's Ready or Not 2 for me. I would happily rewatch Ready or Not 1 and Ready or Not 2 kind of almost back to back, in the same way that I love rewatching the first 4 Scream films, which you can say Scream 2 is basically the same as Scream 1, it's just different kills. And that is the way, I mean that in a loving way, Neil, not in a mean way.
No, I just mean because Scream is David's favourite film of all time, and therefore I'm just waiting for him to dive into it.
Scream is my favourite film of all time, yeah. And I love that you said Scream 4 as well, because Scream 4 gets a lot of hate, and I fucking love Scream 4.
Sometimes I prefer it to the first. The first is better, but sometimes I love 4 more. But yeah,
doesn't 4 have Alison Brie as well?
It does. I mean, how can you not love it? But yeah, so I would package them together and happily watch them like back to back or one night after another in my Halloween rotation. Whereas They Will Kill You, as fun as it was, and I would recommend others to see it, it's not something that's going to go in my rotation. If it was on the telly, I'd leave it on, but I'm not going to go buy the DVD. It's not going to make it to the Halloween rewatch. Ready or Not 2, it is.
I've changed my answer, David. I thought about it. I was going to say They Will Kill You, but I was thinking about it, and like I said, because I've seen it and I enjoyed it, but I want to spend more time with the characters that I enjoy more, which is, Samara Weaving covered in blood screaming and Catherine Newton being what the fuck is going on, because it's just fun. And bags of blood exploding everywhere.
And if you add in Abigail to the rotation, you've got a perfect trilogy.
Could they do a crossover where the next one is basically Grace and Faith end up with a bunch of vampires? I'd watch it. Although, to be fair, everyone did explode in bags of blood in that as well.
They love a bag of blood.
Imagine if we could just get Dan Stevens back again, it would be so good.
Dan Stevens and Ready or Not 3.
He could be a different character. He could be the next person getting married to.
Mm-hmm.
And the whole way through, we'd be like, he's going to be evil, he's going to be evil. Then he wouldn't be evil, and that would be the twist.
Get it made.
Next up, we have, which film do you think you would stand the best chance of surviving? Claire.
I think there's no answer, neither. I would die so quickly in both films. I guess I would possibly last longer in Ready or Not 2 because there are more places to hide, but they would definitely kill me. I probably also would have agreed to marry the Asian kid, so maybe I would have survived quicker. But yeah, like, I would be dead in the bed. I'm the deepest sleeper in the world. When we were watching They Will Kill You and they're like tickling or licking her feet, I was like, that's me dead. Like, I'm gone in that scene. So I have to give it to Ready or Not 2, but I wouldn't survive either.
So I agree. I think I'm fucked either way. I'd give it to Ready or Not, just because I don't think I'd be able to survive the sheer onslaught that there was in They Will Kill You. And the fact that they couldn't then be killed as well to begin with. I wouldn't have made it past. I probably wouldn't have made it out of the bedroom. I'd probably do a different tactic as well than Grace. But it would be dependent on whether I was handcuffed to my sister or not. Because if I was handcuffed to my sister, she'd just stand there complaining on the golf course, and I wouldn't make it off the green. I'd be shot dead there and then.
I have a different tack. I would, very early on, try and kill Titus, and then I would propose to Ursula. So I'd try and marry Sarah Michelle Gellar, and that would be my way out of it. Also, I'd then keep the One Ring to rule them all.
How would you kill Titus?
I don't know, I think it's something.
Well, so I
Neil,
really...
you'd be dead.
I do it near the start of the film.
I love how Neil was the only one that thinks he'd survive this situation. We're all just like, yeah, we'd be fucked.
Via marriage.
The way you kill Titus is you get Ursula to kill him, which I was waiting for the whole thing of, like, because obviously they couldn't kill each other's family, so I was waiting for the thing to come into play of, can you kill your own family? And I was like, but I thought for most of the film that she was going to kill him until the scene in which he kills her. But so that's how you kill Titus. Now, do I think that you can convince Ursula to kill her brother? I don't know.
Yeah. Oh, well, I've got my answer and I'm sticking with it. Murder Titus, marry Ursula, and keep the evil One Ring to rule them all.
And be a Satanist.
Yeah, I mean, I listened to the music when I was a teenager, it's fine. So that brings us to the final question, and that is, which film did you prefer overall?
I preferred overall They Will Kill You. For the reasons I've already mentioned, is that because Ready or Not 2 felt too similar to the first film. And if I'm putting them in isolation, not as a double bill, I'd rather watch the first Ready or Not film. Because if you were comparing Ready or Not, the first one, to They Will Kill You, it's not even close. Ready or Not is much better. But we're not. We're comparing this second film, which just felt way too much like the exact same film. You know what would have been better? If, actually, combine them. We combine the two films. We put the Ready or Not 2 sister dynamic and Grace into the situation that's happening in They Will Kill You.
The hotel.
In the hotel. Yep, in the hotel. And we explore some more of the flaws, because I felt like that was unexplored a lot in it. There was so many, like, there's multiple different satanic flaws that we just didn't get a chance to explore. So we do that. That, to me, is a much better film. And that's my piece.
And Evil Frodo could have been the person that officiated the wedding.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah.
He could have been the vicar. Okay.
He could have been the pig-speaking lady, man. Patricia Arquette's character.
For me, it's Ready or Not 2. I really, really enjoyed They Will Kill You. I had heard it sold to me as Temu Ready or Not before I saw it, which I think was grossly unfair. I do think it's a really great fun movie, and I think it's a shame they came out so close to each other, because I think that's one of the reasons They Will Kill You has not done as well. It's a much smaller, rough around the edges indie film. It's so good and so worth a watch, but Ready or Not 2 is something that I'm excited to rewatch. Like I say, it's probably going to end up in a rotation around Halloween. I will, every time I watch the first one, I'll be like, no, I might as well just stick the second one on for the funsies. So yeah, it's definitely Ready or Not 2 for me. But I do like They Will Kill You.
Yeah, I really like both. Like, David will always castigate me for coming out of a film and rating stuff too highly, because I'm on that high of, yeah, it was really good, I enjoyed it.
Wait, I feel like this needs explaining. So Neil thinks a 5-star is different to a 10-star. So he'll rate
You
something
mean out of 10?
5
A
stars.
10 out of 10?
Yeah. So a 5-star film for Neil was not a 10 out of 10, and I'm saying that a 5-star is quite literally a 10 out of 10 because we're rating in half stars as well.
So what is your defining difference?
David, you've messed it up slightly.
No.
You get annoyed that, for me, a 10 out of 10 isn't the same as a 5 out of 5, because obviously you haven't got as much
That's
to play with.
literally what I just said. It's the same.
It is the same. Because a 4.5 is 9.
It is a 9. Oh my god, Claire, thank you. Oh, yes.
Don't like. I think this is the thing for me that like
I've tried explaining it, Claire. I've tried.
I've told you so many times I'm bad at maths. So bad at maths.
It's not maths though. It's just normal logic.
Like, I can sometimes see a film and be like, that was a perfectly made film, and still give it a 4.5 rather than a 5. But that's for me to get a 5. You need to do the magical juice, the magical feeling somewhere in me that makes me emote in a way that I didn't expect to. You need to make me cry. You need to make me ecstatically grin in a way that I'd forgotten I knew how to, or that I didn't expect. So you can make...
Bone Temple.
I didn't like Bone Temple that much. Gave it a 3.5.
The Iron Maiden.
You know what? Claire can stay.
But so I understand, like, you can have a film that is worthy of being Best Picture and it still not be a 5 out of 5 for you. But a 5 out of 5 and a 10 out of 10 are the exact same thing.
Stop being smug, David. It's because you've got someone to back up your point. Smug mode. Engage smug mode. So yeah, like, good example actually is the Bone Temple, because for me it's a 4-star film. I don't think it does as much as the first one in terms of Danny Boyle's like creative.
So it's 8 out of 10 for you then?
No, it's a 5 out of 5 because I had the reason I gave that 5 stars though is because I had such a great.
You just said it was a 4-star film though.
No.
We agreed on this.
I think I know his issue, and I have a better example of it. The Room, the terrible, terrible movie, The Room. That is a 1-star film, but my experience of watching it in the Prince Charles with an audience quoting it was a 5-star experience. I think that is where you're getting confused.
The experience can add a star on for me. It can. When we saw, we had the secret screening of Send Help, and the audience's reaction to it when they were just like grossed out and laughing at the same time. And again, we were sitting there like just big smiles on our faces because it was like, yes, this is so fun.
So I saw Scream 7 in 4DX. Never been in anything 4DX before. So Scream 7 is ultimately not the best Scream film. The 4DX experience of Scream 7 was a hell of a fun experience.
So I think we cut it. You're just mixing up film versus experience of watching film. We figured it.
I think we do have the 4-star versus 10-star thing though, because I think Neil would have said that a 4-star film is a 7 out of 10.
No, it's a 3.5.
There we go. It is a 3.5, but Neil would say it's a 7 out of 10.
And this is why we rate stuff out of 5, David, not out of 10.
How many fingers are on your hand? Can we count?
I'm not holding
together?
my fingers up.
It's where it says 8,
no,
because 2 of them are thumb. I said thumbs.
Oh, nice. There you go. You just beat yourself with math logic there, David. Anyway, getting back off my terrible math skills and inability to count properly, we have a winner. And that film is Ready or Not 2.
Woo!
Go. I can feel your...
They were on a golf course, golf clap.
I'm so pleased because
yes.
I came into this ready to fight for it, so I'm glad I didn't have to.
It was very close, like it was very, very close, as the numbers will show on the screen now. This was our first time doing a movie clash, and I kind of enjoyed it. And it's never about which film is better, right? Like, it's about which one that sticks. It's about which one you're thinking about on the drive home at 2 a.m. when you should absolutely be asleep. Or instead, you're wondering if you could take on a cult in a fight. You can't. David, you think you can, but you can't. You'd
You're
be wrong,
the one that thought you could.
Yeah, me and David, we both said we were dead. You said you had a better tactic.
My tactic was just to like marry Sarah Michelle Gellar and get out of it that way. You would totally get Wicker Man, David, or Midsummer. You'd be the guy in a bear. Now, let us know what you think. Did you prefer the more comedic tone of Ready or Not 2, or did you prefer the Tarantino-tinted, stylish slaughter of They Will Kill You? Let us know in the comments, and we promise we won't make you fight cultists to the death. Claire, thanks for coming along today and participating in our bloodbath. Where can people find you on the socials?
You can find me on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok at Claire Ellen Hope, Claire without an I, even though I now have a spare one. And then you can find my podcast either W Rated or W Rated Pod on YouTube, Spotify, and all of those places. Razzie episodes are still coming out, and then we promise we will be back to regular scheduling for the first time in 2 years. And we have some exciting films, including the Scary Movie 5 episode coming out soon in time for Scary Movie 6.
That'll be good.
David, what's your where can people find you on your socials with your very dodgy social handles?
Yes, there's nothing dodgy about it. So you can find me on Instagram at We Needed Roads, and you can find me on Blue Sky, where I will post very, very frequently.
Infrequently.
At long.d at Blue Sky. It's my name. It's my last name, Claire. Yeah.
And that was the only reason you chose that name.
Yeah. I didn't realise, I promise, until it was done.
Then you tried to own it and it just
I have to fill out forms like that, okay? Like, not just in my real life. I have to fill out forms that way.
I lived next to a lady who, when she got married, became Patricia Nutt. So her legal name was Peanut. So, other people live with your pain.
Well, if you want more We Needed Roads nonsense, you can find us pretty much everywhere. We're on Twitter at Needed Roads, we're on Instagram at We Needed Roads, and TikTok at We Needed Roads Podcast. And you can follow me personally at Neil_Gregory78 on Instagram and Fred. Jump on Fred's, people. It's fun. It's my favourite echo chamber at the minute because people just like good stuff on there and they enjoy talking about it. You post one non-controversial comment like, I really enjoyed Starfleet Academy, and you get 150 responses. And only a third of them are telling you to kill yourself. So yeah, it's a good. Fred's is good. I like Fred's. We've got a lot more followers from the podcast because of Fred's. So yeah. We Needed Roads is available on all major podcast platforms. We'd love it if you subscribe to us on YouTube and gave us a follow on Spotify. Or you can now even head over to Substack, where you can get the episodes early as soon as they are edited if you subscribe. We've been We Needed Roads, and remember, if your rich in-laws invite you to game night or your sister joins a mysterious cult, maybe just stay home. We'll catch you next time.
We Needed Roads.